Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today we are going to continue to play around with some interesting color combinations. And I have 4 different card ideas that I want to share with you, which feature analogous color combinations. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I want to talk about different color combinations that you can use in your card making. And these are just kind of some unique color combinations, maybe some color combinations that you haven't thought of before. So we are going to play around with the Emboss Resist technique. And we are also going to look at how to use the color coach so that you are able to choose different color combinations with confidence. Now, the cards in this video feature the Frozen Edges stamp set from Stampin Up. And I'm also using just one of the greetings from the Snowy Wonder stamp set. And of course, I'm using these adorable little penguins which come from the Snowy Scenes Designer Series paper. Okay, so this is the card that I'm going to walk you through today. And I'll show you the Emboss Resist technique, but what I really want to focus on are the color combinations used to create all 4 of these cards. So basically, I've been using this color coach, and this is a great little tool that you can use to help you identify different color combinations that you can use in your card making. And so if you didn't see my video last week, I will link to it in the description with this video. But I shared some complementary and monochromatic card ideas with you last week. This week, we're going to focus on analogous color combinations. So those color combinations are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So this is obviously the color wheel. And what's nice about this tool is it gives you a window up here where you can just kind of spin this around and choose different color combinations to play with. So for the cards I'm sharing today, I chose to use the blues, the blue-violet, and the violet colors to create the combination on the cards that I am sharing today. But there's lots of other color combinations you can use. You can just spin this around and you just choose 3 different color groups, like, red, red, violet, violet. Just choose different color groups, grab some colors out of each group, 1 out of each group, and then just play around with different color combinations. So this color coach is available through Stampin' Up, and I will link to it in the description with this video. Okay, so this is the card that I'm going to walk you through. We're going to do a little Emboss Resist technique with the snowflakes. But as you can see, the color combination just works so well together. It just creates harmony and balance in the colors across this card. So let me show you how I made this card. So as you can see, I have the window up here, the analogous window. That's what this big long window is. And I have it positioned on the blue-violet, and the violet. And so that is how I chose the color combination for the cards I'm sharing today. So I took from the blue section, I chose to use Pool Party. So that will be one of our colors for today. Then from the blue-violet section, I chose Misty Moonlight. And then from the violet section, I chose to use Highland Heather. So these 3 colors are what's called analogous colors. So they are next to each other on the color wheel. And those are the colors that we are going to use for today's cards. So we are going to start by doing some heat embossing. So I have a 3 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock. You can use any size cardstock, and you'll see that when I show you the other cards. And I'm going to use this large snowflake stamp from the Frozen Edges stamp set. And so we're going to start by inking this up with some Versamark ink. So let's just ink this up. Now this is a clear substance, so you are not probably going to be able to see what I'm doing here until I start to add the embossing powder. But basically I'm going to stamp this image across this white cardstock. So now I'm going to take this cardstock, which has those images stamped in Versamark, and I'm just going to sprinkle some white embossing powder over the top of this. So you just want to sprinkle a generous amount on here to make sure that you've covered all of the areas that were stamped with that Versamark, and I think I have. So now I'm going to just heat this to set these images. Okay, so once you have the images heat set, then you are ready for this next step. So we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. So for the ink blending, you can do it with a sponge, or you can use these little small brushes, however you want to add ink. But we're going to be adding the 3 different colors to this particular design. So we'll start with the Highland Heather, and basically we are going to add ink to all of these embossed images on here. So once you start to add the ink, then you can really see the image pop. So you'll want to add, you know, this purple color in a variety of different places. Just kind of randomly add it to different spots, you know, on this design, because we're going to be adding all 3 colors. So now let's add some Pool Party ink. And the last one we're going to add is the Misty Moonlight. So I like to save kind of the darker color for the last color. And we'll just kind of fill in different spots with this blue. All right, so that's what the colors look like together. I just think it's so beautiful with the little snowflakes in there. Now you can see with the emboss resist technique, sometimes when you are ink blending over the top, the ink kind of sticks to the embossing. So all you need to do is just take a Kleenex or a paper towel and just kind of rub it across the image, and it will remove that ink from the embossed images. So it'll kind of make the white images stand out a little bit more, because you'll be able to remove the excess ink. All right, so that is what our little embossed resist technique looks like with these beautiful analogous colors. All right, so now let's take this and create our card. So this is a 3 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock that I did that ink blending on. And I'm going to just fold the ends together like this. I don't want to crease it, I just want to fold it a little bit, because I want to create a little banner off the bottom. So we're just kind of dovetailing that. So we'll add this off to the side a little bit. Next, I have a 1 by 4 1/2 inch piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and I just snipped the end into a little banner. And I'm going to adhere this off the right side of the larger banner. Next, I have a 2 by 3 1/2 inch piece of Pool Party cardstock. And so this, I'm just going to overlap onto this little banner. So notice how I'm pulling all the different colors in. So the colors of ink that we used in the background here, I'm pulling those colors into our design. Next, I have a 2 1/2 by 3 inch piece of white cardstock that I just embossed with the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. So obviously, since I'm playing around with snowflakes, I thought this would be perfect for this card. And then I had cut a 1 1/2 by 2 1/2 inch piece of white cardstock, and I stamped a little greeting on it using the Highland Heather. And then I just did some paper tearing across the top so that this looks like snow. So we'll pop that up right there. And then the last thing I did is I just took one of the cute little penguins from the Snowy Scenes Designer Series paper. And this one actually happened to be on the end of the paper. So I thought this would work perfect for this particular card design. So we're just gonna cut this little guy out with a scissors And we will put a little dimensional on here, and then we'll just tuck this guy right in the center. And that is all there is to it, to this particular card. Isn't he cute? And I just love how pretty these colors are together. All right, so that's just a fun and simple design, just a fun way to use this color combination. But there's lots of other fun and simple ways to use it as well. So I have actually a tutorial with all 4 of these card ideas in it. So you can get all the measurements and all the instructions for creating all 4 of these. But basically what I did is I just did my heat embossing, my emboss resist technique in the background. And then I just added different layers using either Pool Party, Highland Heather, or the Misty Moonlight, just to draw out those 3 colors and create this analogous color scheme. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 4 different card ideas that you can play around with, and you can use these card ideas with any supplies you have on hand. And you also have some great information on how to choose color combinations for your card making. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.